ब्रह्माणं विदधाति पूर्वं यो वै वेदांश्च प्रहिणोति तस्मै तम्हदेवम् आत्मबुद्धिप्रकाशं मुमुक्षुर्वै शरणमहं प्रपद्ये निष्कलं निष्क्रियं शान्तं निरवध्यं निरञ्जनम् अमृतस्य परं सेतुं जगथेन्दनविवारणम् ॐ शक्तिसमुद्रसमुद्रतरङ्गं दर्शितप्रेमविजृम्भितरङ्गं संशयराक्षसनाशमास्त्रं यामि गुरुं शरणं भववैद्यम् अद्वैतत्त्वसमाहितचित्तं प्रोज्ज्वलभक्तिपटावृतवृत्तं कर्मकलेवरमद्भुतचेष्टं यामि गुरुं शरणं भववैद्यम् नरदेव देव जय जय नरदेव तं देशिकेन्द्रं परमं पवित्रं विश्वस्य पालं मधुरं यतीन्द्रं हिताय नृणां नरमुक्तिमन्तं विवेक आनन्दमहं नमामि नमः श्रीयतिराजाय विवेकानन्दसूरये सच्चित्सुखस्वरूपाय स्वामिने तापहारिणे आदरणीय मुक्तिदानंद जी मैसूर मठ का अध्यक्ष और रामकृष्ण मिशन का परिषद का सदस्य, श्रद्धेय सन्यासी वृंद, प्रिय श्रद्धेय भक्त वृंद, दिस इज इंडीड a historic occasion which you are witnessing, and I have the privilege of being here to participate, be a witness to this occasion. Swami Vivekananda spoke about Advaita, you know, and interestingly, I will briefly trace the history. Narendranath Datta was anti-Advaita. This is the paradox in the Ramakrishna Vivekananda Leela. Narendranath, as all of you know, was a member of the Brahma Samaj who believed that the King of Kings is the Supreme Lord and all of us are poor, ignorant beings who crave for His grace for emancipation. When he sang to Ramakrishna for the first time, the Brahmodan song, he said, Tumi Tribhuvananath, Ami Bhikhari Anath, Kemone Bolivo Tomai, Esho Mama. You are the Lord of the three worlds. And I am a poor, despicable beggar. How can I ask you, O Lord, to come and sit in my heart? That was Narendranath. Sri Ramakrishna gave a strong dose of Advaita, the strongest dose of Advaita coming from Ashtavakra Samhita, one of the greatest books of Advaita. He used to keep it under his pillow. Narendranath came, he took that book, closed the door, read this for me. Narendranath read a few pages, said this is blasphemy. Calling oneself one with the Supreme Being, I am that. I should never read this book. And the rishis who wrote this must have gone crazy. And Sri Ramakrishna said, you may not like it, you may not agree to that, why do you call names for the rishis? Then he said, he knew the trick. Narendranath would not do anything for himself. If it was somebody else, I will do. You please read it out to me. I am a fool, I can't read Sanskrit. It's for you, all right, but don't ask me to accept this. No, you read. He read and read till the Advaitic thought went so deep into his being and converted him as the greatest Advaitin of all time, crying from the world pulpit. He said, never forget the glory of human nature. Buddhas and Christ are but the waves of the infinite ocean which I am, thumping his chest. That is the transformation of Swami Vivekananda. He repeatedly said, all problems can be solved with the elixir of Advaita. Advaita was well known even before Shankara. It is not that Shankara discovered the Advaita doctrine, but he revivified, rejuvenated Advaita, wrote the famous magnum opus, the Bhashyas, on the Prasthanatraya, interpreting them in the Advaitic way, and wanted to bring Advaita to all people. Shankara also did it. He established 4 mutts in 4 corners of India and effected national integration through the Advaita doctrine. That is very interesting. Advaita is the doctrine of unity. Advaita is the doctrine of oneness. There is no place for multiplicity and for division, exclusion. Neha nanasti kinchana. The Upanishad says, a person who sees the nanatva, multiplicity, without recognizing the unity within the multiplicity, that person, mrityosya mrityumapnoti naneva pashyati, he goes from birth to death and death to breath, but death in the ocean of samsara he is drowned. Shankara did this, and somehow it was meant to be for sannyasis. For people who have renounced the world, people who do not want anything of the worldliness, only for sannyasis. Buddha also meant his doctrine to be only for sannyasis. Swami Vivekananda says, nothing for the householder, everybody should be sannyasi. Swami Vivekananda, Sri Ramakrishna came and corrected this vision and restored the Vedic vision of the pravritti dharma and the nivritti dharma, Abhyudaya and the Nishrayasa, Dharmartha Kama and Moksha as one unitary, unified doctrine to be pursued. And they revived, as Sri Ramakrishna said, the Rishi ideal. Not a Grihastha or a sannyasi separately, but the Rishi ideal. A Rishi is a man of God who is immersed in God, and the greatest of rishis were all married. Yajnavalkya had 2 wives. But the greatest of rishis. It is not a question of what you are, what you do. It is a question of whether you are living a divine life. The Bhagavad Gita will end mentioning what the acme of realization says. Tado mam tattvado jnatva vishate tad anantaram. It's a very interesting statement. He says tad anantaram thereafter, that, and he enters it. That means he lives a life of godliness. And Swami Vivekananda found this doctrine one of the finest and the most powerful doctrines which we have, unfortunately had not been applied in society for the transformation and elevation of society. And realizing the great effect of this on the masses, he threw this open to everybody, to women, to men, to children. There is an idea that women should be denied the study of the Vedas. Swamiji completely broke this barrier and said, very interestingly, if a fisherman thinks he is the Atman, he is given the Vedantic, Advaitic dose, he will be a better fisherman. If a student thinks he is the Atman, he will be a better student. If a lawyer thinks he is the Atman, he will be a better lawyer. If an administrator thinks he is an Atman, he will be even the better administrator. Yajnavalkya used to go to Janaka, was the greatest administrator at that time, and constantly there will be discussions on Advaita Vedanta. A day should come, I am imagining after a few hundred years, our assemblies of the parliament will be discussing the Advaita Vedanta, and the MPs and the MLAs will participate in this. This is the glorious age which we had, and it is coming back again. Swami Vivekananda therefore said, what is my work? It is just now mentioned by Swami Muktidananda, my mission in life. There is another place he writes to his disciple, what is my life's work? To put Hindu ideas into English and make out of dry philosophy intricate mythology, cruel startling psychology, a religion which shall be simple, popular, easy, and at the same time meet the requirements of the highest minds. Only those can understand who have attempted it. The dry Advaita should become poetic, living in everyday life. Out of hopelessly intricate mythology should come concrete moral forms. Out of bewildering yogism must come the most practical and scientific psychology. And all this should be put in a form so that even a child may be able to grasp it. This is my life's work. His own statement. He said, I can teach Advaita to even a child because it's the easiest, your own self. Advaita says it's your own self. Accept it, bring it out. Now, can the Advaita be used to solve world's problems? Swami Vivekananda was possessed of this idea. Perhaps he got a hint from Bhagavan Sri Krishna in the Bhagavad Gita. Arjuna is depressed. Arjuna is unhappy. Arjuna is immersed in Shoka Sagara, as Bhagavan Shankaracharya puts it. Shoka Moha Sagara. Now, how to cheer him up and make him fight? The modern way is give him a pep talk, giving motivational thoughts. Arjuna, cheer up, calm. What did the Bhagavan do? Bhagavan taught him the Advaita philosophy. Bhagavan taught him the highest doctrine of the Atman in the second chapter, to cheer him up. Bhagavan Bhashyakara Shankaracharya asked this question. Arjuna is depressed. How can he grasp the highest truth at that point? He said, only the highest truth can remove sorrow permanently. Arjuna was confused with Swadharma and Paradharma. Mama ekam, and I am theirs and they are mine. So when the Bhranti Pratyaya came to him, the I and the mine, immediately he rejected his Swadharma and took to Paradharma. This is what happens when you get confused. Then to again cheer up and bring Arjuna to the level in which he will be able to be Swadharma, he taught him the highest Advaitic truth. Swami Vivekananda, following the same tradition of the Bhagavan Sri Krishna, as the Bhagavad Gita is a living embodiment of the Upanishads, Upanishad Sara, Sarvo Upanishado Gavo, Dugdha Gopalanandana, Patho Vatsa Sudhir Bhokta, Dugdhom, Gita Amridam Mahat. Swami Vivekananda said, take the Advaita philosophy, which is the core essence of the Upanishads, and teach it to people. Teach everybody this Advaita, that you are the infinite self. And this teaching, he said, will have the greatest effect. I always love to think of Sri Krishna's teaching in the Bhagavad Gita as Advaita Vedantic psychotherapy. There are so many schools of psychotherapy, as you know, starting from Freud and Adler and so on, and Frankl, the logotherapy and so on. We should perhaps develop, based on these models, Advaita Vedantic psychotherapy to remove the depressions of people. Corona, people are upset, people are depressed, people feel lonely. Give them a strong dose of Advaita, you are divine, you are not lonely, and your own self is there always with you. This was tried by Swami Vivekananda. I end with this, an anecdote. Swami Vivekananda was in Paris. There is a great actress called Emma Calvé. She was a great celebrity in France. She was terribly depressed, as most celebrities feel lonely and depressed. She was actually ending her life, contemplating ending her life. Then somebody told her, there is a great saint, a holy man, a great Indian yogi, Swami Vivekananda, you please go and meet him, he may help you. She comes to Vivekananda's study room. Why is there within you? Awaken the consciousness within you, and you will be one with the whole universe. This powerful impulse entered into the lady, and she was almost losing her consciousness, getting into samadhi as it were. And she said, Swami, what are you doing to me? I am losing myself. Started crying. Swamiji then told a story. As a fitting finale to this talk, I mentioned the story. There was a water drop falling into the ocean. And the drop was crying. Ocean said, why are you crying, my child? Oh, I am going to lose my individuality as a drop. Swamiji always used to tease and make fun of the Westerners. You Westerners are always afraid of losing your individuality. You are not individuals yet. You will be when you become universal. Then the ocean said, you are not losing your individuality as a drop. You are regaining your individuality as the ocean. You are the ocean. You are me. And the sun's rays took you up. And you are coming back to me to become the ocean, your real individuality, the joy in your billions and trillions of water drops, your sisters and brothers like you, like you. Swamiji had a great realization in the Himalayas in Narmora, where he realized the wonders of microcosm and the macrocosm. He said, I have seen the entire universe in an atom. Advaita tells you, you are the universe, you're one with the whole universe, and therefore, tatra gomoha koshkashokaha ekatvamadavashyataha. The Upanishad says, how can there be any shoka, sorrow? How can there be any delusion when you see oneness everywhere? You are one with the whole universe, and realization of this oneness, microcosm which is the individual self, and the macrocosm which is the Brahman, the cosmic. They are one and the same, and therefore the two sentences in which Advaita Vedanta are summarized by Swami Vivekananda, one, each soul is potentially divine. All beings are divine, potentially divine. Two, the oneness of the existence, solidarity of the universe.